Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Starladder China, day number 2. It's time for a slightly earlier start than yesterday. We were caught a bit off guard, actually, but we're here, we're ready. We're awake, I'm awake.
Yeah.
I'm awake.
I like these China schedules. I get my schedule seems to fit well because I get good time to shower, get ready.
It's funny, when he came back from Australia, he's like, oh, I'm not jet lagged at all, my schedule will be fine. Then he's still in Australian time, but it works out for us quite nicely.
That's what I meant by not jet lagged.
Yeah, there you go.
I knew I'd be casting Chinese Dota, and that's what we've got today. We've got 4 matches of Chinese Dota for you. You can see the standings here. We've had 1 play day so far. Newbie, after a rocky start in Cena Cup, have bounced back. They're 2-0, taking a big win against LGD as well as an expected win against Tongfu Wangzhou, but the schedule today, that's what we're kind of interested in.
Yeah, first match going to be Invictus Gaming versus Vici Gaming. IG, of course, they made a big roster change, adding Luo as well as Chuan to the active roster. No more Banana, he's on the outs. No more Hao either. They've moved on to Newbie. So we'll have to see how they perform in their absence. But for the time being, IG still have a bit to prove. All these players very accomplished in the past, but with the current roster, have not done as much as Vici Gaming have with their 5.
Yes, it's still a small enough change there. I feel like this is still going to be one of the big teams there. Adding in Luo and Chuan, still a very strong team, and we'll get ourselves into the draft in just a moment here, guys. We are getting things underway, and this is the big match for today. You've got Vici Gaming, who have shown that they're as good as ever, taking DK to a full 5-game grand final in Cena Cup, and you've got IG, who to me are going to be they're going to be in that top 3. I think they're going to join Vici Gaming and DK as the big 3 Chinese teams. And then I think you'll have Newbie, LGD after them. Newbie, the only one who can maybe challenge those top teams.
We did have the teams mixed up here, but that has been sorted. And, well, gods, another day, another Ancient Apparition high pick. The first overall pick was actually, though, the YYF Prophet, followed up by an Ancient Apparition Alk Reply. Very strong dual roam combo. If they want to run the Alk support, but generally we've seen more solo mid Alk in the Chinese scene as of late. So,
yes,
looking towards that in this particular game. We also have a Rubik selection, and possibly going to Faith here, I guess. Chuan tending to play more of the jungle supports as of late, but certainly we all remember what he's done with Rubik in the past.
Enchantress and Chen still both in the pool, and I think especially the Enchantress has been one of the top picks in this Chinese scene as well as just in general at the moment. And we saw Chen a bit in the Monster Invitational final, something that AUI 2000 used a lot, so definitely still very viable. As for Vici, more still on the Invictus Gaming side, if they're expecting the Alk mid, something they've run a lot of is that solo mid Ferrari 430 Brewmaster. So maybe they look for that melee versus melee matchup. Alchemist still does pretty good in melee versus melee matchups because of the acid spray and because he can easily get those stuns off on the Brewmaster, but Brewmaster just really needs the level. He can trade farm a bit, get his Blink Dagger up, and then we've seen some mixed success. We didn't see LGD do too well with the Brewmaster, but we've seen other teams use him very well.
They were 4-0 going into that one game they played yesterday with Brewmaster, but couldn't deliver in the 5th game, and this is where the stakes get a bit bigger for the team. Cena Cup, great kind of warm-up event, online tournament, but now this qualifier leads into a major land title, land tournament, potentially a title for some of these teams, and a great training opportunity, probably one of the best the teams will have going towards TI4.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the land finals sometime in April, I believe.
April 17th through 20th, so it is a 4-day event. 8 teams will be there. We'll have a lot more games than we did last time.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, the first big chance to see the Eastern teams versus the Western teams in 2014, so a lot to look forward to there in Starladder TV with it becoming a true global Dota 2 league.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It seems like it's going to be an awesome season. We've just gotten started with China. This is only day 2. All of these teams still fully capable of finishing in the top 4, moving on to the playoffs, and all you need to do is finish top 2 to go to those land finals. But now in the second stage of the picks, we see the Nyx Assassin come out for Vici Gaming. They removed the solo mids for 430, but we've seen 430 just all over the place. We've seen his Invoker kind of make a resurgence. His Brewmaster still available, something you mentioned earlier. And would lane pretty well against Alk or Nyx Assassin. Probably the Alk going mid. And 430 still has his options open here as we move towards IG's second stage of the picks.
Yeah, I think they will be definitely thinking of getting a jungler here for Chuan. Talking about it with Brian, he's like, well, when they added Banana to Newbie, it was like, yeah, this guy's like one of the best junglers. It was what kind of led Tongfu to dominance, and it was like, we're kind of thinking of which other junglers in China even compare to him, and Chuan was the only one we could come up with. So maybe a player we can look towards playing one of those jungle roles here.
Yeah, it's something that Chuan was doing for a long time for IG before he ended up no longer being on the active roster, but He's back now. He's back in business, and we'll see a Lifestealer come off the board, so expect Luo to take up the reins on that. Though it is possible for YYF to play it with the Prophet already picked up. We expect him on that. So now looking for that second support for Chuan, as well as for 430 solo mid. And for me, I'm most interested in what 430 is going to play. Up against a Bane now, Ancient Apparition, Alk Nyx. That's a lot of lockdown. Lifestealer does well against most of these heroes, but I would not mind them going for more of a semi-carry mid this game.
I think it's with the Prophet's kind of like your secondary semi-carry already, which is where I don't think you need like a full like Invoker or TA type mid hero.
Well, Invoker's banned, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, but I don't think you need like a full-on TA type hero. I think you still can if that's what you want to go for, but I don't think it's like, oh, we need more damage. With the Prophet, Lifesteal, now they get a high damage output support with the Visage, so...
Well, I meant more along the lines of like a Puck, like a semi-carry type, but Puck is actually banned, so...
Brewmaster, I think, is still very... Brewmaster against lots of disables can actually be quite good as long as you get your ulti off, because you just can disrupt them a lot. You cancel the Fiend's Grip with a Boulder. Cyclone, an annoying hero.
Pretty good vehicle for Lifestealer with the Blink Dagger as well, so I like that combo. They'll go for the Night Stalker ban, though, something that Navi was running today.
That's like your old school IG, like Night Stalker plus Lifestealer. Like the Face Rush lineup.
Yeah,
not full Face Rush with a Prophet in there, but...
I don't think it was a great game for a Night Stalker, though, honestly. Like, when he runs in, there's just so many ways to stun him, punish him for tower diving.
Yeah.
I mean, Ancient Apparition is food, perhaps, but the rest of these heroes would have a pretty easy time with him, I'd say. So, yeah, we saw the Dendi Night Stalker, or at least I saw the Reddit thread about it. The Yule Scepter is back.
Okay.
I think it happened in the XMG the Captain's Draft tournament. But...
No, it happened in Outmatch. Starladder, yeah.
Well, he ran it. I think he ran it again in the Captain's.
Okay,
maybe I could. I'm getting my.
The Starladder Europe match against Relax we saw, and Vici Gaming last pick Luna, which is expected. They're going to put the Alk mid, the Nyx off lane, so they just need a trial and carry, and that's triple range heroes, all with Luna Blessing, all with Chilling Touch.
Yeah, you can't really go aggressive against that.
That damage output's insane.
It used to be when you'd see a Luna pick, and the enemy team has Lifestealer Visage, they would go aggressive, but. With this Ancient Apparition in the mix, I don't think you can.
Yeah. I don't think Vici Gaming can necessarily go aggressive themselves as good as this Trial is, because...
I'm more saying IG can.
Yeah, Nyx Assassin can't really 1v1 a Nature's Prophet. So I think both teams will go with a safe lane trial, and the Bane AA can maybe look to just roam. Bane can even look to help out mid by throwing a few Enfeebles at level 1, like we've seen sometimes from Bane players.
We could even maybe see dual lanes, like a Bane Luna and let's say a Nyx Ancient Apparition. Some teams have experimented with the AA dual lanes in the off lane. I know Cloud9 loves to do that. Vici also like to roam a lot in the laning stage. That's been one of their hallmarks as a team ever since they reformed the roster. So a pretty good roaming lineup, and mid will be an easy gank with the Alk there. As well as Bane and Ancient Apparition both being good setups. So this does put Nyx into more of a farming position, though, and IG will go for the semi-carry mid. It's not the Puck, which was banned, but a very similar hero, even more of a late gamer in the Storm Spirit. So some Lifestealer bombs on the loose.
Quite a lot of lockdown to deal with him, but it's still not too bad. If he doesn't get hit by like a Carapace, which can lead into an Impale, or get caught in by the Fiend's Grip, then it should be not too tough of a time for Ferrari. But he's going to have a good start, and he's going to be up against an Alchemist mid, which is probably about as decent as a matchup you can get as a Storm.
Yeah, he could really die, though, early on.
Yeah.
VG have not the ideal lineup, but close to the ideal types of heroes to gank a mid, and just having an Alch mid, that's a guaranteed initiating stun. He really can't get away from that, especially during the first daytime. So if they run the Storm mid, I would like to see Vici put a lot of pressure on him.
Yes. The Alchemist by Vici Gaming, we saw, it was them running it yesterday, not as strong on the dire side, because you can't as easily stack your own Ancients.
Yeah,
but
that's a good point.
Nyx, if he's off lane, he can't really get much out of the lane against a Rubik Visage, so he may actually he may be the one stacking the Ancients. Like yesterday, it was Super stacking his own Ancients just on the way to check the rune, or just whenever he could, because it takes like 2 seconds from the mid-Radiant side, but I imagine it'll be ROTK stacking Ancients for the Alk Acid Spray farm.
Absolutely. All right, guys, if you're just joining us, this is our first of 4 best of ones on the day. Vici Gaming versus IG, 2 of the biggest names in China right now, duking it out. And on the Radiant side, we'll start with Invictus Gaming. We've got Luo playing the Nature's Prophet, not YYF. It is actually going to be the YYF Lifestealer heading towards the bottom lane. Faith on the support Rubik, Chuan handling the Visage, and that does put 430 onto the solo mid-storm. So an interesting small role adjustment, and certainly Luo and YYF, very versatile players in China, but Normally, it has been YYF in that off-lane
Yeah.
role.
YYF is my favorite lifestealer player, like of all time, though.
Well, he pretty much invented the phase drum. Some would argue,
Yeah. He was the first one to be doing the
or at least to
the race
popularize
car.
it. Yeah.
The phase drum Sanjin Yasha, he popularized, and I think he was more or less the first one to be doing it a bit.
Yeah, there were some like players doing it in pubs a lot around that time. I'm not sure who started it, but he was the first pro player to really.
There's probably like some 2K
consistently
MMR
win
guy
with it.
out there like, I did Sanjin Yasha on my lifestealer. Come on.
Give me some props here, man.
Bit of lag for the players. Apparently, our audio is a bit laggy in Dota TV, but as with the nature of Perfect World servers, we can't.
It's hit or miss.
It's hit or
just,
miss.
Sometimes some games it's good, some games it's not so good. So
As long as
we are
everything's-
looking into solutions as far as looking into VPNs, but we've had very poor results with those in the past, where we spend a bunch of money on a VPN and it doesn't actually help. So we'll keep on hunting for them, guys. If we find a solution, we of course will implement it and let you know. But for the time being, if you do want to hear our lovely voices, safe bet is to keep the stream up when there's lag.
Yep. Well, both teams going with a safe lane tri lane here as the standard, somewhat expected result. We'll see the Alchemist versus Storm mid, and both offlaners are against scary tri lane.
This is really bad for Nyx too, because once the Lifestealer just gets boots and then into phase boots, he can just solo, and ROTK can't do anything about it. That frees up the supports to roam, to stack, and they've got a lineup that can clear those stacks later on. The Storm's quite good at it, Prophet's not half bad, and Lifestealer can go woods easily too, so I think this tri-lane should work out very well for IG, and then I guess the question is, how is IG's offlane going to work out for them?
They got this little pull off here. I haven't seen this in a while. This dire pull.
That's pretty hard to pull off.
I didn't actually see how they got it either.
I didn't see it.
I may have to go back and rewatch this one, but yeah, I'm not sure how they. Oh no, it was with the Treants. The Treants pulled it, and then they pulled the creep wave to the Treants.
Okay.
Like what we're seeing, like they could pull this wave to the Treants. So it was actually the Prophet helping them get that pull off. I suddenly look over.
That's rather unfortunate.
I look over. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this pull isn't possible.
Yeah, well, that's a bit of a
unless you're a
blunder.
wisp and it's a range creep where you like tether while the projectile's in the air.
yeah, the projectile's coming at you.
That's the only way you can do some of those like little pulls, but.
Yeah, we've seen teams try the dual mid with the Wisp, but not too much recently. Outside of maybe Fnatic, but even they're not running it much.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see ROTK. He's been zoned out thoroughly. Your Prophet has pretty much the same. We'll get 3 creeps here, but the good news for the Prophet is he can catch up in the jungle. Nyx doesn't really have that option.
Yeah.
Although he'll find a haste, so he might get something now.
And I like this from IG. They've done their homework. They've blocked off the Ancients with a Sentry Ward. This is clever.
We saw this yesterday. 2 teams both failed to. One of them was it was Tung Fu Wangzhou, bit of a newer, younger, inexperienced team, but there was another game yesterday where one of the top Chinese teams was not warding the Ancients. It was the first newbie match, maybe?
The first one was against the Tongfu Wangzhou. The last one was against LGD. It was
What
the
match?
Vici Gaming versus. They played CIS, I want to say.
Or was it Dream? I think it was Vici versus
either
Dreamtime.
CIS or Dreamtime. They played one of those 2 teams.
Yeah, and those teams did not ward the Ancients. Super was almost with just constant ganking.
Yeah.
And speaking of ganking, it'll be your first smoke of the game now. Fenrir FY on the move. A sleep into a cold feet. That is a guaranteed kill, and they don't even need the sleep to start here.
Prophet
Just
probably has
outstun
sent
will
word,
do.
though, because his Treants are scouting and have not seen supports. One Treant was at the big camp, one was over at the pull. Nothing was spotted, so he said, hey, be careful mid. These supports are not pulling.
Well, he
are not
might have
jungling."
warned mid, but has he warned himself?
Yeah.
That's the question here. They don't have that great initiating stun top, though. It'll just be the sleep, and it doesn't have the best range.
There's no sleep cold feet, and even with a cold feet, I don't know if it would
He
land because
spotted
of the
them now.
boots.
The Treant marches in, and
Yeah.
and a well-dodged gank. Really good, just off-lane positioning, map awareness from the Prophet. Heads back to base, and may just... we'll have to see if he even looks to defend top at this point.
Pulls some of the creeps off the tower using a Treant, so he's just slowing down the push as much as possible. I think he'll TP, summon some Treants, and then just try to use the Treants to maybe like pull the creeps once again off there. So yeah, he'll TP into where it's safe, summon Treants, and look to just... He's just stalling this. Even if he doesn't stop the tower going down, he just wants to stall it and make him waste as much time as possible.
While this is happening, I'm looking at a safe lane Lifestealer that he's 9 CS behind the enemy Luna, and they're pushing the tower. YYF's missing some last hits here.
Yeah, that shouldn't be
Especially
happening.
against Nyx. Like, you should be able to get them even when he's in the lane. And
Yeah.
he's been zoned out quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but that is inexcusable.
There was a haste on
almost.
ROTK, but that doesn't affect your ability to last hit.
Yes.
Well, that's going to hurt them a bit. The good news, though, 430, getting levels and hasn't died. The main thing is just dodging that first gank. Almost hits level 6 off of this wave, and They have the Lifestealer bombs, the Prophet not getting much in the way of levels, but still doing decently after that abortive push attempt. He's almost level 4.
Yep. Well,
more than the Nyx anyway.
Yeah.
There's only 2.
As far as the mid lane goes, we're looking at a pretty even matchup here. Both Storms are at 3 CS ahead, which is nothing, and both sitting on level 5.5. So this is pretty much what you'd expect a bit from this matchup. As much as Storm Spirit's a ranged hero has that over the Alchemist, it doesn't really give him that big of an advantage.
For the time being, Vici Gaming, they go back to getting their levels up, FY. Working towards his level 3. Super's already 5, but
it's IG's turn to smoke now.
They just haven't gotten much off the map. As you mentioned, the Alchemid isn't that strong on the Dire side compared to Radiant, and between that, as well as IG warding the Ancients anyway, and the failed gank top / mid, and the push being stopped as well. I mean, we're looking at IG already up 600 experience. That's a pretty decent amount for this early on.
And Super's rushed a magic wand, which is like, it basically says he knows there's going to be ganks coming at some point. He hits level 6, he's got a magic wand, so even with these 3 heroes here with a Storm Zip in, killing him gets tricky. That wand, the +3 stats combined with the extra heal you get when they engage on you, actually will probably allow him to survive this gank.
Luo just out of range of that Lucent Beam, and is going to connect, but they need the sleep to get this kill. The slow's there, and this should be our first blood. If they have the cold feet, not actually using it yet, and they still bring him down. First blood will go the way of Vici, but YYF joins the fray, wants to focus Sylar, who has Eclipse. Will they kill him in time? He's got the Eclipse, but I think he'll go down before he uses it. Isn't going to waste it. Smart decision-making from him. 430 shows up. IG are ready for this one, gods. They bring down 2 for 2 so far. Now they work on Super, but he's pretty tanky for the time being. They need another slow. Phase boots from YYF. TP in from Luo. Suddenly, 3 dead. It could be 4. The slow. They have a Rage available. Just need one more Sprout to secure this kill. No tangos on the Bane. Should be able to catch him. Running up the cliff. Not going to matter. Surrounded and brought down. 4 heroes fall. And the worst part is the tower still alive and now going to be in deny range too.
That's the beauty of what Luo did earlier in the game, where he just kept on stalling this tower push, kept coming back top, just sending treants to stop this push. He could have been farming jungle, getting actual farm there, but he's like, no, if I slow this down, we'll have openings later on in the game. Storm will hit 6, Lifestealer will be ready to TP in. He got his phase boots, that's all he needed, and IG make a big play happen up at top lane, and they just... Luo can actually get the deny on this tower. Actually, he's probably not going to do so with the Luna coming back, but great reaction from IG. They brought in all 5 heroes, but that's what you do at this stage in the game with their kind of lineup.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, that's where having the offlane Prophet, sure, he dies, and then just TP's right back in and rejoins the fight. So, well, for the time being, YYF back to the bottom lane, has phase boots. The one piece of good news is RTK got like a level out of that in the offlane, but that's really stretching it. He's still under level. The Prophet's already 5. Our Nyx is sitting at 3, and RTK, all he can do is hide in the trees, try and fog YYF, and leech experience. Because if he approaches the wave, you just see a rage, open wound, some right clicks, Prophet TP's in, and that's a dead Nyx. So really not much the offlane Nyx can do this game.
We don't often see offlane Nyxes get properly punished, and I feel like this is one of the first times we do. Like, most teams are running dual lanes or tri lanes that aren't strong enough to zone him out.
And we haven't seen a ton of Lifestealer versus Nyx matchups.
Yeah.
We've seen both of them getting picked, but not against each other that often.
Lifestealer, yeah, great against Nyx stats. And we'll see a Storm zip in now. He wants some more blood. He's going to find Fenrir here at the top river and gets another kill for IG. This one going to the Nature's Prophet.
I feel like as soon as this Prophet hits 6, they'll just make a go on RTK here. Not that they particularly need to kill him, but it's just an easy kill with Lifestealer. Already the max rage, and one right click, that's a good 20%, maybe 15% of your HP, and
he can almost solo kill him with max rage. Like,
yeah, he's got to be a bit worried about... Well, Bane's not level 6, so I guess there's not really any way to stop it aside from just TPing in and trying to right-click him.
Yeah, I don't think he'll quite get enough right-clicks off with just a full duration rage, but he'll get very close to killing RTK. And that's what, like you say, Prophet hits 6, it's a guaranteed kill. He was actually going under the tower there looking for RTK, it looked like.
Yeah, but meanwhile, top lane, they've gone in on Sylar, has a Lucent Beam, but the cold feet... Unable to latch that Alk stun. It is going to hit, though. That's a pretty long duration stun. Not long enough. He's still hasted. If they get one more Lucent Beam, that'll be the kill. Are they in range for it? No. Gets fogged at the last possible second at the buzzer. But Super keeps on giving chase. We'll throw out the stun once again. No acid spray, though, so it does fairly minimal damage, but it's still enough. A long pursuit, and they'll bring him down. But in the end, it's just the support Visage that falls, and they once again draw 3-4 heroes top, so... It's not a great death, but it is space created for the rest of this team.
Yeah, it's helping. I mean, IG's got a free farming Lifestealer. They did bring the Storm Spirit in themselves, but Storm going to TP back to mid now. He wants to go for some more action here with Rubik there. And uh-oh, Bane, you're dewarding, and that's not a place you want to be dewarding. Prophet's going to TP in for this one. The Storm Zip in, not quite on point, but it's going to be just good enough. And Fenrir, he's going to go down even with the Brain Sap being used.
Yeah, decent Alk stun from Super, but just a little bit too late. And Faith about to hit 6. Still, the chase comes from Luo. Really driving Super back to the
They TP'd in
tower.
Lifestealer there, which was definitely not needed, but they can just transition into a push now with Lifestealer here, so...
Yeah, not needed for the kill, but I like it. Bane's not level 6. Nyx isn't level 6. This is a good... Even Ancient Apparition's not. This is a great time for IG to fight. It gets a lot harder once there's the Ancient Apparition. All at once there's a Fiend's Grip and Vendetta available, so it's a pretty good time to do it.
Yep. ROTK just about to hit level 6. Still needs one more creep wave, though, so he's not going to be... Oh, he is going to be coming. He's TP'd to the tier 2.
No, it's far too late. YYF easily cleans up the cower. Sylar maybe tries to kill off Faith here with a Lucent Beam. I can't quite get the range for it, and the Storm simply zips away.
VG just not really committing to that one. Like, TPing in these heroes, they're expecting, hey, look, we're going to take this fight, but they were just too late. The tower's gone and IG retreated, so that was actually a lot of wasted time, wasted TPs.
If they wanted to take it, Super should have been channeling the stun from the fog as they TP'd in. He was just sitting here waiting, and by the time that the team showed up and he started to go in, it was too late. So, just not great communication here from Vici.
Well, that gives IG a bit of an early game lead here. There, it's just like a 1k gold lead, nothing too major, but they've just got heroes that are going to start snowballing with a Storm Spirit.
Oh boy, Faith, he eats the unstable concoction to the dome, but he'll steal it. Toss it back the other way, perhaps. No, doesn't want to suicide if he doesn't get that one off. And Lucent Beam would have cooled down by the time he unloaded it, so smart. He'll back off, YYF. Eats an Ancient Apparition ult to the face, but doesn't really matter. That'll give them a little more push, oomph behind this push, I guess you could say. But the Prophet Trance gets summoned. The Midas is almost online for him, and they're still defending. IG stubbornly and tenaciously holding onto their territory.
Yeah, they don't give up towers without a fight. We saw that top lane, and this mid lane, and IG just saying, hey, you're not going to have this tower. And Vici Gaming, I think, realized they're just not strong enough to do that. They need to get some more key levels. They just got level 6.
Level 6.
Yeah,
he's only 4 at 12 minutes in, nearly.
Yeah, he's struggling, and that's where IG, they've suddenly got a Prophet with Midas. They've got Lifestealer getting close to what looks like it's going to be just an armlet with a casual bracer. So this is a scary IG lineup. You look at Infest Lifestealer in the Storm Spirit and Prophet TPing in as well. They've got a lot of global ganking power.
I would like to see them try and keep the Ancients stacked as much as possible, but constantly parading towards the Roche Pit. Possibly have been sent to the Ancients as well. And as you mentioned, Midas online. And this is where IG can start to pull ahead in terms of farm. They've got the more threatening ganking lineup for now, but as I say that, Nyx does hit 6. Bane is fairly close. And once they get the level 6 on Bane, I feel that's where Vici Gaming just need to start looking for some kills.
Yeah. ROTK really needs to make space here and either get kills or just create a lot of distractions and just give the rest of his team big openings to get farm and push towers.
You don't want to be an offlane Nyx and be 0-0-0 at 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, he just hasn't been a factor. He's just been off on his own, but this is his chance now.
Yeah. This is probably the right move here. They get the 3 heroes that need to be going. Bane's not with them, but he needs to be hitting level 6, so he's actually staying in experience. So he's going to TP mid and probably just go towards the mid lane. I don't think he's even meeting up with his team. He just wants to get experience to get that Fiend's Grip online. And
look how good they've been about the Ancients. Treant scouting them out, Familiars were scouting them out, and the Sentry Ward placed there. Observer Ward and Sentry both dropped in the lane, and suddenly RTK is thwarted. IG just very prepared. You know, yesterday, gods, we saw a few moments where teams were not really prepared for the Nyx, but even as the day developed, and certainly today, it seems like the Chinese teams, they haven't forgotten the lessons of a year ago. They know how to play against those Nyx. Carry sentries early and often.
Yeah, IG looks scary. This new roster of theirs could be a lot scarier and stronger than their old roster if it works well together. I think Luo's just a much more dynamic player than Hao, and then Chuan, similar story over Banana. I think Banana's maybe stronger in some certain roles, but all in all, this new IG team, it just has more playmakers.
And ultimately, all these players are good enough where it more just comes down to the team synergy, and if they can just find a good style. And so far, they're hitting a nice rhythm here. Pressure applied bottom. They'll rotate the Storm top, though. This will be your first Lifestealer bomb of the game. The last Infest was just a heal mid, but they're hunting this Luna. And Sylar, look at the vision. He just doesn't have any. He's like, where the hell is this? He actually sees 0 heroes right now. They saw a few bottom earlier, but good positioning, but bad for him because he's not farming.
I wonder if it'll come out when these heroes show themselves bottom. That's the big question here. He still won't see the Storm or Lifestealer, and he knows that's the two combos. The combo hero
it's like the Storm you most want to look for. And yeah.
If you see Lifestealer on the map, Storm can't solo kill him. Is the good
it's
news.
more if the Prophet shows up with Treants and an ult or something.
But yeah, he was patient. He didn't even show himself. That's the Silo. Silo's map awareness is, to me, the best of any carry player in the game.
Well, he certainly shows good map awareness here. They'll smoke up, they head up the ramp, and they rotate through the enemy jungle. Vici Gaming on the prowl, while IG, it's their turn to take up the defender's position, tucked behind the enemy or behind their own tower. But this is where Vici, they've got some good vision abilities here. They can drop the Ancient Apparition ult if they even sense somebody behind this tower. Faith, Chuan sitting around 800, 700 HP. Definitely dead if one of these stuns connects, and oh boy, they've dropped the Observer Ward. They're ready. Chuan's gonna eat an Impale. That's a simple kill. No
And
Fiend's Grip even used. They've still got one. TPs
immediate
were getting
TP out.
cancelled.
Faith just TP's home.
Yeah.
Well, TP's mid. He knew that bottom lane was a lost cause. When Vici Gaming
No.
have 5, they kick out the Visage. They also have they lost their Observer Ward, but still, they've just got a big vision advantage.
So it's Vici's turn to be the more just disciplined and map-aware team, avoiding the pickoffs. And also managing to take a tier 1, but a good trade from IG nonetheless.
It was a tier 1 for a tier 1 plus a Visage, so that's...
And a 5-hero Visage stun.
Yes.
Cheeky play.
I would say like that was almost an even trade there. I don't think Vici Gaming got as much out of that as they were hoping for. They were hoping for 2 to 3 heroes to be caught at that tower and brought down.
Yeah, they also did waste a lot of time on the Lifestealer bottom top for IG, though. That's 2 heroes not getting anything, while only the Luna was a bit lacking, and fairly even overall. Here's your mech for the Alchemist. So Super's going to pick that up, but this is not like the Super Alch of yesterday, where he was sitting on 2 items at this point.
8-minute mech he had yesterday. It was like an 8-minute mech with just normal boots. He didn't go for the wand, but...
And it comes back to this. The Sentry here, they've had the Treants all over the Ancients. Just look at the Treant positioning right now from this Nature's Prophet.
Yeah.
Who needs wards when you've got Prophet? This is really impressive Prophet play.
Did the Sentry actually block it there? Because they've stacked...
Yeah, they already had the stack, I believe.
They had a double stack, I remember, but I feel like they've just got a triple stack. I'm not sure.
Actually, yeah, I think you're right. I think it was only 1 dragon and 1 set of Fire Lizards.
So maybe the Sentry doesn't quite block it there, but...
That's a spawn box I don't know too much about. I just put it in the middle of the camp and promptly get dewarded. That's an easy deward, but hey, at least it blocks the camp.
Yeah. AOT going to go flying towards the Storm Spirit. Ferrari's actually in trouble here. The Impale's going to kill him off. That's a good assassinate.
And all set up by this Observer Ward. So
yeah.
Sure, the Treants are cute, but the ward with this is where Vici are strong. Just the Nyx roaming around. They did it yesterday as well. Ancient Apparition plus Nyx, and that'll be the key for them to keep on finding these pickoffs before Storm gets Orchid. That's kind of what IG are waiting for, it seems. That's the big item that lets them start finding kills easily around the map. Right. But after their early aggression, they've slowed down quite a bit. Yep.
Well, looks like Super going to just deal with his angst. And they missed that stack, and not because it was blocked. That was just a slight
missed time.
I think Super pulled it off the bit to the side where he actually messed it up. But neither here nor there is. He's still going to get a decent amount of farm. They're going to be looking at a Nature's Prophet Necrobook build coming, so IG do want to just have that strong split push and just... I mean, Necrobook's also just a good fighting item. It does so much damage if you get a Necrobook 3 around like the 20 to 25 minute mark. Fighting against that as like a Luna or a Nyx Assassin is really tricky.
Yeah, and hey, it's not a bad item just to take it late game. Just push the lanes out, spread the map, and let your Storm Lifestealer get up their next item. So, can be a space creator as well. And against a team that's got a Nyx, Ancient Apparition, Bane, Shadowblade's not necessarily a great choice if you want to split push. So.
Here we go, Ferrari. Another Infest Bomb. And once again, Sala's like, this guy's on point.
Again, I really have to commend this Nature's Prophet play, though. He has been everywhere with these Treants.
Yeah. Oh,
it's a nice spread.
I look at the mini-map, and there's like a good, like, perfect square going on, or just of every Treant's in a different spot scouting something out.
And even these Treants. Like, we've seen Treants moving into the Roche pit, heading towards the enemy Ancients. Yeah. Sentry Ward did get placed again in the Ancients. And this one looks a little bit... I think the other one was, like, up here, right?
IG's vision, like, Treants, and then they've also got Familiars. They've just got a scary amount of vision.
Yeah. They're just... It's hard for Vici to surprise them, and this is where, even if you don't see the Nyx, you know where he's not. So you kind of have an idea of where he could be at that point.
Vici Gaming, they're grouped up as 5. I think we maybe look towards another smoke. They've just picked up the BKB. I think they want to
And level 11 on Sylar. This is a pretty good timing for them to fight.
I think they should be looking for a team fight. They've had this mech for a while and not really used it, which is okay, because I think they just needed those next level of items, but they need to make something happen soon. Sure, Luna's a great late game carry and is better than the Lifestealer late game, but I still don't think their lineup as a whole scales up.
Yeah, I'd say she's better when she gets, like, the big items. Butterfly, Manta, Satanic. But when she's just got 1 or 2, Lifestealer can just man up on her and kill her.
Yeah, and YYF's going for his painted race car build.
Yeah, so he will delay like the Abyssal Blade or the Basher, which is really what you need to just solo kill the Luna in team fights, but still very scary for the time being. Ancient Apparition ult's gonna fly bottom, but this will just be harassment. There's no follow-up for now.
Not even going to land on Luo, but not a big issue there. As Vici Gaming, they're still just kind of spread apart farming. They've got a BKB coming at some point on their Alchemist, but not really a huge pickup per se, and
they are getting off farm, but it's not that bad, all things considered. I mean, IG have invested a lot into warding off the Ancients, trying to block the Ancients with creeps, and they are running a Midas Prophet, but so far, Vici's kept it close, and looking at towers, it's even there, 2-2. We'll see a 5-man disconnect from Vici.
Yeah, they said something before leaving. What do you think that means, LD?
We're tired of this game. You bore me.
Yeah.
We don't have time for Chuan. Bigger and better things to do.
Yeah, ROTK. Chuan, you can kiss my ass as well. Join Loader down there.
Kiss my ass, Rhoda! That was pretty epic. For anyone who's just joining us, I do see I've gotten some comments on Twitter and just general feedback about Dota TV audio lagging. Guys, this is out of our control. Same way it was for Join Dota throughout the Sign Cup, it is true for us as well. Perfect World is behind the Great Firewall of China, and for now, we don't have any direct path to them, so, well, that firewall slows the traffic down, makes us drop packets, or makes the packets drop when they're going out to you guys from the server, and as a result, sometimes we get Dota TV audio lag. Do apologize for those about the ticket.
Yeah.
Wish we could fix it, but, you know, we've been dealing with these problems for like 2 years now, and until Valve can figure out a solution, there's just not much we can do. So.
Yeah, you get some good games, you get some bad games.
No, this is one of the bad ones when it comes to audio, anyway.
The stream is good. That's what we have to look at. We haven't got cannot actually stay connected to the game going on, but hopefully things improve for the rest of the games. We've got 4 games today for you guys in the Starladder China. Day 2 of 7. Well, 7 group stage days, and then we've got 2 or 3 playoff stays. So.
Yeah. Speaking of which, since it looks like we'll have a bit of a longer break here, we can quickly show the schedule once again for those just joining us. We've got 4 best of ones. DK will debut today. They play CIS. They also play LGD. LGD, on paper, maybe is a big addition in terms of individual talent, but Yao now taking over the captaincy, well, those are some big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
And he actually did an interview, I believe it was with 2P, or was it with Ghost 2 Gamers?
I saw it on Ghost to Gamers, but it may not have been there originally.
It may be one of these things where like they both share the interview, but neither of them actually were the ones to conduct it. But
I hope it wasn't on 2P. Otherwise, Marley's like yelling at me now, like that was my interview. I'm
he's
sorry,
yelling
Marley.
at us anyway. So
I'm sorry, Marley.
I'm
I
used
love
to
you.
Mal yelling.
It looks like it's a Ghost to Gamers interview.
Source Sina. Okay,
never mind. It's a Chinese. It's a translated interview.
But Yao, although he's the leader now, he said he's got a very different approach and kind of style for it. Xiao 8, known as Director 8, kind of a dictator as far as his in-game command goes. But
yeah.
Yao saying it's much more of a team thing. They want everyone to step up, take responsibility, and at different stages of the game, different players will be calling the shot. So it sounds good on paper, but you know it can be a difficult transition in process.
Yep. Well, it's like all the players have reconnected back in. Let's see if we get things on. They're spamming pings, I guess, just to test the latency a bit. You can see how quickly they respond. And both teams ready to go. We'll get things underway here in our opening match. Vici Gaming up against IG. Both teams 1-0 at the moment. Both teams trying to catch up to Nubia at the top of the standings, who've already played 2 games. And this is a pretty important match. Like, this is 2 teams for me who are in that top 3.
Yeah, like if you're like say any like DK, Vici, LGD, IG, Newbie, you know, those are the 5 teams that are likely to be in the top 4. So you really got to take care of business when you play against them. You drop a game here or there, maybe you lose to 2 of those teams, and suddenly you might be the one team that's on the outs. But you know, even a team like DT, CIS, fully capable of an upset in best of ones.
Yeah, you have to be really careful versing those teams, because you suddenly lose to them, even if you've beaten one of the other top big teams. The fact you get upset by a CIS or DT, suddenly your standings as a whole get affected. We see it in Europe all the time, like teams like Power Rangers have beat Alliance the last 2 Starladders. Like, these big upsets happen and sometimes affect the standings and who goes to the LAN finals.
Yeah, there's been times where like Navi, Alliance just like barely squeak into the LAN finals and then make a run, but you know.
Yeah, once they're at the LAN finals, it's like, sweet, Navi, Navi on LAN.
Now we'll play for real.
Yeah.
And then you go back to some of the games that they lost and they had you know, they had like 3 stand-ins or 2 stand-ins. They were drafting Meepo or Clowny Draft, Dendy Pudge. Which can be amazing, but not always. And Anyway, with that being said, the push begins in earnest now. Another unpause, Vici just barreling towards the middle lane. With the Luna BKB level 11, they want to fight. They don't have the best initiation here, though. It's just Super who will start things off, but no blink on the Nyx or anything like that. They do take the tier 1 mid, a crucial tower for sure, and for Vici, or rather IG, it'll just be the counter push bottom. They try and balance things out, get the creeps moving the other way, but there will be a quick defense from Vici, and so Vici in the end take a tier 1 with no opposition. And this is where Storm doesn't have Orchid, IG just not really ready to fight.
Yeah, we'll have it in a second now. So IG, it's a tier 1 mid, is the most important tier 1, but it's something they'll give up just to make sure they are ready to fight when they do. Necrobook 3 up now as well on Luo once he brings that out. So
and this is big versus the Nyx as well. So definitely an important item for them to pick up.
Yeah, get that vision as well as Alchemist got a pretty small mana pool. You can burn away pretty fast especially if he's not in Chemical Rage form. So.
I just love this delicate dance around the Ancients. We've seen like Familiars, Treants, Sentries, Sentry D-Ward attempts. In fact, there's actually 2 sets of Sentries here, and there's no Invis heroes in IG. They really want to keep their Ancients clear, stack them with the Alch for the Luna. And so far, after having a slow early start, Vici have been pretty successful with the Ancients the past 8 minutes or so.
I'm surprised these Ancient battles don't happen more, because it costs, like, what, 100 gold to block it? And killing the Ancients is worth 200, 250 gold generally.
Just one stack is easily worth the cost of a single Sentry. And then some. Not to mention the experience,
just
which is
micro
priceless.
The Familiars to block them. This is
just stomped it, went right back up to the high ground, and hey, just park it there. It's more important than getting your own farm.
Yeah. And, well, have they got Vision of Roshan? They've had great vision all game, IG. Nature's Prophet, Treants, Familiars. This Familiar is going to go in just a second. We'll go down, but it gets the vision they needed. Just 100 gold is the cost for that. And IG can't get there in time. Roche is already down.
Yeah, they've got a Lifestealer Bomb, but it's really going to be late. If they want to go, they're just suiciding for it.
They'd have to zip from so far away that it would use up too much of the Storm's mana. And
he would have no way out. Maybe they get the Aegis if they're very lucky, but that's a
they're
super
trying to trade for
gamble.
top. Like, Prophet goes top, sends his Necrobooks, his Treants, but even that's not going to go down. Sylar immediately TP's up there after getting the Aegis, and, well, Vici Gaming.
Just good objective-based Dota from Vici.
They're still behind by about 2,000 gold, but this game, to me, suddenly kind of reached a almost break-even point. Even though Vici Gaming, everything's been going their way the last 5 minutes, we've just seen Storm pick up his Orchid, Lifesteal pick up the Sanjin Yasha, so I still think IG are in a decent position here. And they've got the strategic advantage of having a Nature's Prophet split pushing, which is still very annoying to deal with.
And there's no gem here, as 430 pops the Invisor, gets infested, heads towards top. Sylar's BKB, but they'd love to just clean up the Bane on the backside. That would be an easy kill. And I think they're going to. No real response from Vici. They do move RTK bottom. Sentry Ward will perish.
I think they haven't seen the Bane, so I think he's going to
engage
on this.
They're about to now. They'll walk right into Fenrir. They see the Bane. 430's got to be careful. Probably wants to silence Sylar. Nope. You won't even need to. Just clean up the Bane. Walk away.
Yeah. Luna has they could kill the Luna, but you're just getting the Aegis, and then you probably die afterwards. So
yeah. I think they just want to wait this Aegis out anyway. Just split push. You've got a Prophet with Necro 3.
Yeah.
No need to really force
You're still farming. Like, Lifestealer takes over the top lane. Prophet still farming away. We're going to see Rubik get caught under in the jungle by RTK. Not going to even... Oh, we'll hit the Impale.
Cheeky. Most players would have just lifted him and run, but he steals Vendetta first.
Yeah. Yeah, any spell you steal will help you escape it. Impale, Carapace, or Vendetta, unless it's a mana burn, but
that's pretty unlikely.
Yeah.
Rarely the last spell in Nyx is used.
IG are just getting good farm right now. That's kind of that's not really showing the last few minutes with Avicii getting towers, Roshan kills. IG just farming well. Like, Prophet's going to be getting a Hex probably next, or even building towards more like a semi-carry type build, so IG is still looking pretty good here.
For the time being, Sylar clearing out the mid-wave with Glaives. He's really not worried about the Lifestealer Bombs with the Aegis online. No tier 1 mid, though, so if he ever got caught, there wouldn't be much easily ready backup. But for now, IG just pushes in top. The Necro minions get popped, and the rotation will come. They've got an Ancient Apparition ult flying forth. Will be a bit off the mark, actually quite a bit off the mark. Luo on the way out. He's got some backup here. 3 heroes not far off. If they go on him, it could be prove to be a mistake. He continues the retreat. RTK continues the chase, does connect on the Vendetta and the Impale, but they're ready for him. Ambushed immediately. And just backing on out. Well done.
Yeah. Nicely baited there, Luo. When you see that Luna chasing past a creep wave, he knew that the Nyx Assassin was on him, so he's telling his team, stay nearby. That Nyx is going to potentially jump me.
You also generally know when the Ancient Apparition ult comes out from across the map like that. It's normally this Ancient Apparition Nyx are working as a tandem, so... All in all, IG were ready for that, and RTK just over-aggressive in pursuit.
Yep. We'll see Super pick up the Sanjin Yasha he likes to go for on Alchemist. I really like this build. It's something... the more I see it, it just works, especially with a solo mid-alch. As a support alch, you want to go for a Blink Dagger, but as a mid-hero, you want to be more in the front lines tanking it up, because you've got the mech there, you've got the tanky items, so you want to be on the front lines, and you need that movement speed to actually be able to make sure you get your unstable concoction off and to sort of break the distance.
Yeah, and avoid getting fogged as well, which is where Alch can struggle a bit, but 430, Orchid complete, has kept the farm up nicely, 1700 gold to work probably towards... Well, I mean, it could be the Hex or BKB this game. I guess it remains to be seen, but I feel they're going to need a Hex as this game goes on. They, at least, if it's not him, it should be the Prophet, but actually Luo's going BKB, which is a rather uncommon choice at this stage of the game. Doesn't have much right-click.
Yeah.
But just worried about... I guess wants to just be able to TP out if Nyx ganks him.
Normally the BKB is more like a, you go Shadow Blade, Orchid, BKB, or like you have right-click damage to back up the BKB, but...
I guess this is just, hey, I have BKB, I can... Even if they gank me, they're going to have a very hard time killing me when I'm split pushing.
There's a Fiend's Grip, but Bane isn't really going to be there for the split push. It's not the Bane dealing with split push, it's the Nyx, the AA ulti, the Luna, and to a lesser extent the Alchemist, so... Yeah. And he'll go damage item, I guess, after this. Maybe even use damage items aside the Vice, which isn't like a true damage item, but...
But helps the rest of the team do damage. Yeah, that's certainly an option here. 430, another 500 gold into his pockets. They're starting to jingle a bit, and another Infest will come out. They'll head towards the top lane. Sylar, in the meantime, he's just purchased a completed Manta style. Balling pretty hard. And we'll see if he gets to make much happen with it. No level 3 Eclipse online yet. IG moving through the river. No dire vision of this one just yet, but it's a pretty risky move to do this without a gem.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they do have Ron and Chuan. But
both teams have a gem at this point, which is, in a slow passive game like this, is essential.
Just pick them up control in the past, like, 3 minutes or so.
And we'll see Vici Gaming go for this tier 2 tower. And I think IG just say, hey, let's trade towers because they've got Aegis and it's risky. The Aegis is expiring in 1 minute. No real reason to take a big risk here, and they can't really 5-man TP onto this tier 2 tower. Maybe 1 or 2 TPs and IG have to back and they don't get a proper trade, but even then it's just not worth trading.
Tier 1 for a tier 2 though. Vici will be happy about this.
They go high ground though.
They're going to try to break the base. It's only level 3 Eclipse, still very scary in these situations.
No glyph.
Manta pop. There's no Ancient Apparition on this squad. Infest is over. YYF did pop out, and for the time being, it's cooling down, so they don't have a great initiation here. They'll go in on the Luna, but you don't want to force that one out. Nice rage dodge, avoids the Alch stun, but the tower's fallen, and I think Vici will just settle for that.
They've timed this really well. They've still got a good 20 seconds on Luna. Like, they're not cutting it to the exact last second. They probably know now, hey, if we fight now, Luna's Aegis is very likely to expire mid-fight.
And Chuan just casually feeds 200 gold of familiars. In comes the Ancient Apparition ult, it connects, and 430, Alch stun will follow him, tries to dodge it, but ends up stunning Chuan, and I think might go down to this. Still ticking down low, but actually barely survives. Crucial that he lives there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Yorubiki's stolen something. It's a mana burn. Not really that useful. He'll take it. But they're still pushing. I don't know if they want to force this without Aegis. You've got to worry about buybacks here as well when you're breaching this base.
Yeah, Luna's got BKB. Going to TP home. Okay.
Yeah, like that would have been a very risky play. And they lost the tier 2 bottom to the creeps.
Yeah.
Prophet took the tier 2, or the tier 1, but a tier 3 for a tier 2 and a tier 2 earlier. I guess a decent trade, but...
They didn't want to go back and defend because they're thinking there's a chance we get Rax with this Aegis. And they came close-ish. Like, if they kill that Storm Spirit, they either force a buyback or maybe they do get Raxes. He did have buyback, but that was definitely a good call from Vici Gaming. They just didn't quite have what it takes to break the actual base there.
They're going straight down mid now. Big smoke. Aggressive move into the mid lane. They know there's no Aegis. They don't get off the pole. Just the silence on FY, who promptly... just 4 staffs his way out, but a bigger prize to be claimed. That's Super, who falls, and will he buy back for this? He's got it in his pocket. Very risky to force this one, but
this tier 2 is as good as dead. It's already so low.
There's actually a glyph. Just came off cooldown. If they want to fight, they can, but
they'll use the buyback for the high ground, and high ground. I don't even think IG are going to try for the high ground. They haven't got the best. Well, they've got Lifesteal, who's pretty good at breaking high ground, but they're going to back off, and there's no Roshan or anything for IG to take, so. Vici Gaming, that tier 2 tower already sitting on like 300 HP was kind of destined to fall soon enough anyway, so not as bad a loss as it could have been.
Overall, pretty just patient play from both teams.
Yeah.
Vici, a team that's known for, with ROTK especially, just sometimes forcing the issue. Didn't really force the issue top, just casually took the tier 3, backed off. ROTK had the 1 overextension, but compared to yesterday where teams were just going balls to the wall for better or for worse, it's been a much more deliberate pace for our opening match of day number 2.
Super's had just too quiet of a game, though, to me. He's only been in 1 of these 5 kills. I mean, 5 kills is already not much for 30 minutes in the game, and the way IG have played has kind of prevented Vici Gaming from getting anything, but as the solo mid Alk, you'd expect just a little bit more than that.
He is keeping his farm up, but they're up against the Tricore here. And Alk Luna, probably the stronger pair of carries over like a Lifestealer Storm, but that's where then you throw the Prophet into the mix, and it could be hard for Vici to take this late game. Especially fighting through a range of buybacks. There's a Basher up on the Lifestealer now, and Storm with the completed BKB will turn his eyes probably towards the Hex as Vici smoke and IG hide.
This is... I think the direction this game's head is actually pretty good for Vici Gaming, because I think the Alchemist, once he hits Assault Crest and Sylar hits Butterfly, I think that at that point Vici Gaming become really scary. Fighting a Butterfly Luna when you haven't got Hex... Storm went BKB, Prophet went BKB, Hexes is still a long way off, so if Sylar gets a Butterfly, Alchemist gets an Assault Crest, and they get the next Roshan, I think IG will struggle to defend that. That timing window is going to be really hard to deal with.
That's where IG just want to split push. Just rat it up. Don't let them force the high ground, and they've got a really good lineup to do it with. Maybe that's where the Bane will work towards a blink, but for now, Fenrir has Ogre Club, wants the BKB, and RTK will go Ghost Scepter here. So, yeah, no hexes anytime too soon, but Prophet's got the money for an Ultimate Orb, so they're not in dire straits at this point. And hey, Abyssal Blade not far off. If you get lucky with the RNG, can still kill the Luna.
IG are, like, looking at the graphs, they're ahead, 7.8k experience, 5k gold, but it definitely feels a lot closer than that, just because of where some of the experience and gold is going. Like, looking at someone like Chuan, he's level 10, he doesn't even have level 2 Familiars, and that's where he was just feeding Familiars last fight, because they get one-shotted by Luna.
It is hard to keep them alive against Luna. That's for damn sure.
Like, he's going to have an Aghanim Scepter with level 1 Familiars.
Here comes your jump mid.
Not even worth it.
They're almost ready. They'll pounce right in on Fenrir. Quickly focusing the one hero who can deal with a BKB on the backside. Familiars crash through, but Sylar pops a Lucent Beam, stays alive for now. They clean up the Ancient Apparition. Just a surgical operation here by IG, bringing down 2 supports, and cost them nothing but a BKB.
Yeah.
They just, when the Bane gets gone on, there's just nothing to stop it.
Yeah, IG have this great initiation advantage over Vici Gaming, which then they're
and the mobility as well. Yeah. They're really abusing it.
If Bane or A is caught outside, they just instantly die, and that's what we see there. Even with them going like tanky items, Bane's gone for Treads, Bracer, Ogre Club. Like you seeing Treads Bane here, and this is just purely for the stats and the HP.
Yeah, very unusual item selection, honestly, but well, it doesn't matter. He's still very killable. It's where maybe they need some, I would say maybe some Ghost Scepters, but there's still some magic damage coming out from IG. It's 4 stabs on the supports. They've got the 1. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just not enough.
I like IG getting aggressive here before the Assault Crest plus Butterfly timing comes, and that's going to slow it down, also just cause Vici Gaming to be a bit more just unsettled and unsure where they want to do and where they can position themselves. Because in a head-on 5v5 fight, I think Vici Gaming is still stronger if the supports are sitting at the back, not getting caught out. If they can just get a Fiend's Grip on either Nakes or Storm Spirit, great. But I don't think IG are going to let him get a Fiend's Grip off this entire game.
Whenever you talk about needing to not get caught out and you're up against Storm, Lifestealer, Prophet, it's like one thing to talk about, another thing to execute. So maybe that's where smoke comes into play. We see them smoked in the tree line next to their team. They go for a bait, but it's definitely easier said than done, and Vici supports have their work cut out for them.
Well, Chuan's got his Ag Scepter, I believe. All right. There you go. Ag Scepter on Chuan. He's just hit level 11 too. Yeah.
There you go.
Level 2 Familiars. That's the good news. So get a bit more HP on them. There's definitely something that could win a fight, having the triple stun from Familiars.
Oh, yeah. Especially when you look at Alk with no BKB. In fact, the only BKB is on the Luna.
Well, Vici Gaming going to commit to this Roche. They were spotted as they went into the pit.
There's a God, those Familiars.
The Familiars just die immediately to the Acid plus Bounce.
Didn't catch it.
That was brutal. And there's no Familiars for this fight.
There's a Lifestealer bomb, though, and he's got an Abyssal Blade, and they're at the ready. IG just hanging out on the backside, prepared to leap in, and only thing to save them will be the Fiend's Grip. They don't actually go on the Bane, though, who promptly turns around. Oh, no, without the Fiend's Grip, it could have been an easy win, but still, it looks okay. Yeah. They bring down the Luna off the bat, an even bigger prize. ROTK, are they going to catch him TPing out? One small swipe of those big claws, and down he goes. They got off the Fiend's Grip, but the Luna fell, and that was just it.
Yes.
Never got off BKB. Actually did, but it was too late.
YWF said, I'm just going to kill this Luna. I don't care about you BKB here. Abyssal Blade and just right-clicked away. If maybe
she just melted.
If Luna got maybe like a bit more evasion luck or something, maybe it's a different fight, but the initiation damage was just too much. Because Storm actually, the Storm Ball Lightning plus Lifestealer Infest damage got everyone down to like 3/4 HP right off the bat before they even cast a spell.
And he had a DD rune in that fight as well, which really showed its strength.
Yeah. That was...
Vici just have a hard time dealing with that leap in. They really do. And IG are taking advantage of it. They'll create some more trance here, and they'll continue to push. Triple Familiars. This is a tower not long for this world. Although the Ancient Apparition ult comes through, they do have an Eclipse, or not. Do they have an Eclipse? No, it was used as well.
Yes.
Well, I still think they can defend this, but IG, they come out way on top here.
Yes, the hold. Silas gonna come back here. He's picked up a Mask of Death, which even just having that 15% lifesteal in that last fight could have maybe saved him. Like just having that little, because there's no like AA on the other team to stop you from to finish you off. So when you're in BKB form, dying to a right click from lifesteal, you just need anything you can get. Even
more economic damage from that fight. Chuan picks up ROTK's gem and is truly balling out of control at this point. 2 glowing green orbs for the big fella.
He's looking at the 40-minute mech strat. Why not?
Better late than never.
Yeah.
Mom always said.
It's yeah, definitely not bad. There's a lot of physical damage and the plus armor against acid spray. Why not?
Now they rotate back towards mid. Vici, you can just tell that they're scared now. Like IG has forced them to respect that lifestealer initiation. It's where when the Storm BKBs and zips in, there's just not a whole lot to deal with it. Even if they fiend script him like they did last fight, he doesn't die all that fast.
Yeah, the BKB Storm and Lifestealer Enrage, one of them, only one can be Fiend Script's the other thing. It's like when you're a Doom and there's too many targets that you need a Doom.
Yeah.
Like you take out one, the other's going to just wreak havoc. And I think the target to take out is going to be the Lifestealer with the Fiend Script. His damage output is just scary. But if the Storm, he just needs to save either a pull or the Orchid for the Bane and just cancel that. Bane's not going to have a BKB anytime soon.
Yeah, it's where it kind of feels like when you see a team that is Earthshaker or Sandcane and the enemy team's trying to go high ground, you just kind of got to smoke up, hide, and hope that you can get off the good counter initiation. That might be what it comes down to for our Bane. Suddenly, an Assault Cuirass comes out. Prophet completes his before the Out completes his own.
Yeah.
Although Super is quite close, but this is going to be a big item pickup. Luna, despite the Butterfly, not that survivable. Unless she gets really lucky with the evasion, and still without Satanic, can just be focused down in these fights.
Vici Gaming's last kill was over 20 minutes ago.
20 minutes?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
That's
been
a long, long drought.
That's putting it mildly, I think. And the never-ending parade of treants. I'm really impressed by this Nature's Prophet play. It reminds me a lot of how we saw Bulldog playing it back when he was like Prophet every game before TI3, just endlessly aggressive and searching with them. They'll find Fenrir here. He went for a ward near the Roche pit. He'll quickly pay with his life. Merciless. No mercy from IG.
This is IG finally found their rhythm, because they went for a long time in the early game where they weren't really finding kills with the infest bombs. Like Storm was just wandering around and Sylar just his map awareness was on top of it. But now that they've got these BKBs, they can just get so much more aggressive.
And with Bane dead, they can just go. Like
yeah.
I don't see what's stopping them now. They can just zip in with BKB. They've got the Aegis. Jump a backline hero. Even if he buys back, it might be too late, and they'll do it. Now they go on Sylar, but gets off the BKB. They probably want to wait this one out. Just kidding. Lifestealer just waddles in. YYF slaps down the little cat lady. No match for the big bad Lifestealer.
This Lifestealer just destroying Luna. Butterfly,
I guess she's not getting much evasion luck. She just melts in these fights. And there's the Familiars as well, which are nothing to sneeze at here.
Yeah, the Familiars are just right-clicking away on Sylar as well, it looks like, with their max damage, so...
The other thing is just abyssaling her means the Familiars don't die. They get to right-click,
yeah.
So the bouncing glaives don't bring them down, so that certainly helps.
Never seen a Luna melt so fast.
Well, this is where Lifestealer is just a great matchup for Luna, until you get the big items out. Still needs the Satanic.
Yep.
At that point, would probably be able to withstand the initial burst, or at least have a shot, but... it's still difficult.
IG just going to keep doing this. Just jump the Luna, and this time around, Luna won't have buyback. Like, Luna just bought back, and Vici Gaming accomplished nothing. If Vici Gaming used that buyback and won a team fight, it's worth it, but nothing came from it, which is where IG are like, sweet, we just wait.
And Bane actually cannot die like that. If he dies before they push, they have nothing. Like, they don't even have a chance to stop the initiation. Even with the grip, it seems difficult, but without it, there's just no way. No way at all, And now with Faith having a Force Staff, that's a grip that can be stolen and used against you, too.
There's your next infest. Goodbye, Luna, probably, once again.
Double damage on the Storm. This one's gonna hurt.
They'll just jump the Luna at first sight. All he has to do is save the Orchid for the Bane. You can pull the Luna, but don't use the Orchid on anyone except Bane.
Yeah, they didn't last fight, the earlier fight at Roshan, they still won that one. Al's gonna throw out a stun here, but right away, they zip in with the DD. Focus on the Luna, she gets 4-step forward, not the right direction. Sylar's gonna fall. Eclipse stolen by the Rubik right as the Luna falls and is gonna use it, turns it around the other way. GG! IG, masterful, as they dismantle IG.
There's no answer to that at this point in the game. Like, they did the zip in, they went on the Luna, the 4-staff kept him alive a bit longer. He gripped the lifestealer, and Farai was even a little bit slow with the silence. The silence came like a second after the Fiend's grip, but it doesn't matter. This Luna just falls to this lifestealer. This lifestealer, YYF lifestealer is back, and 5-0-13. This guy is the lifestealer.
Well, they show their versatility in this game, God. Switching the offlaner and the safe laner, something the IG of old used to do all the time. We saw YYF as well as Zhou do it back in the day. They both played quite a bit of lifestealer, and they'd be very content to go aggressive or defensive as called for based on the draft. In this game, pretty much the same old story. So that's going to wrap up our first match, guys. It's a best of one, and we move on now to our second match. That's going to be... Oh, there we go. That's going to be... let's see, actually, before we take a break here. DK versus CIS.
Okay.
Best of one, DK will make their debut here in Starladder Season 9, the first ever global Starladder. One of the first ever, like, truly global lands, I would say, as well. Outside of the international.
Yes.
We'll probably see more of them sprouting up this year. I imagine ESL will probably look to do something along those lines, and Dream League getting close to doing all Western regions, but hey, Starladder, it's going to give us that East versus West dose, but for now, the story is IG looking strong here, guys. They take down Vici Gaming 1-0. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll bring you more Chinese Dota. Thanks for watching Beyond the Summit. I'm LD. He's God. Stay tuned.